Breaking news, guys. Nobody is illegal on stolen land.
Am I sick and tired of that? So let's set the record straight with the facts, the law, and the textbooks that support this. Not just American textbooks, Mexico's textbooks. And this is for everyone like this immature person that keeps saying, no one is illegal on stolen land. Mexico didn't own the American Southwest the way you think. Mexico only existed as an independent country starting in 1821 after gaining independence from Spain. Before that, it was Spanish territory, not Mexican. Spain used to control present-day California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, parts of Colorado, and Texas for over 300 years. Mexico held these northern territories for only 25 years, from 1821 to 1846. And even then, they barely governed them. Most of these areas were sparsely populated, tribal, or simply ungoverned wilderness. And during that time, there was more native tribes than there were Mexican settlements. The United States and Mexico went into war from 1846 to 1848, and it was even declared on both sides conventional war, not a land grab. Let alone that the United States defeated Mexico militarily, which was led by Generals Zachary Taylor and Winfield Scott. The war ended with the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo on February the 2nd, 1848. In that treaty, the United States did not steal the land. They purchased it from Mexico, legally acquiring it through the treaty, paying for it, after whooping Mexico in battle. In that treaty, Mexico ceded over 525,000 square miles of territory, what is now California, Nevada, Utah, most of Arizona, New Mexico, and parts of Colorado, and Wyoming. And in return, the United States paid $15 million, which today's age is about $550 million. And assumed $3.25 million in Mexican debt owed to United States citizens. The treaty was then signed voluntarily by the Mexican government, ratified by both governments, and remains international law. You can't call it stolen when it was paid for, signed, and sealed by treaty with compensation. Even when Mexico claimed the territory, they couldn't hold it or manage it. Texas declared independence in 1836 and became its own republic. Mexican presence in California and Arizona was minimal, few roads, few towns, and constant Apache, Comanche, and Navajo resistance. Even many Mexican citizens in those areas preferred U.S. governance due to lawlessness, lack of protection, and economic stagnation under Mexico's weak central government. Indigenous lands did not belong to Mexico. So Mexicans that continue to claim that the land was stolen from us often overlook this major contradiction. The land didn't originally belong to Mexico. It belonged to hundreds of Native American nations such as the Apache, Comanche, Hopi, Navajo, and Ute. Mexico inherited colonized land from Spain, which had been taken by force from native people, just like the U.S. did. So if you're going to call the United States a settler colonial, you must also apply that label to Mexico, which Mexico did conquer indigenous lands under the Hernan Cortes and Spanish crown. So if America's claim is invalid, so is Mexico's. And if Mexico wants to talk about stolen land, the Mexican state of Chiapas was taken from indigenous Maya. The Yaqui and Tarahumara people were nearly wiped out under Mexican regimes. Mexico still refuses to recognize or return most of the tribal lands, nor does it allow sovereignty or separate tribal governance like the United States does in America. So you can't continue to accuse America of stealing land while ignoring your own nation's conquest and colonization. And in 1854, the United States purchased additional land, southern Arizona and New Mexico, through the Gadsden Purchase for $10 million more. Every inch of the land of the United States owns from Mexico came through war, negotiation, and payment. So make sure to send this to a stubborn mule that just doesn't get what history says. And make sure to hit that follow button for your daily updates.